The Saints bury the Patriots. Coming up, we'll have a full report on Sunday's blowout of New England. Plus, the game of the year is right around the corner. We'll have a full preview of the showdown out west. And we'll party with Pat Swilling. Their team is 0-9. You know why they're so excited? They just found out that Saints Sideline is next.
Saints Sideline, brought to you by Midas. Nobody beats Midas. Nobody. Your local Isuzu dealers. Budweiser. Nothing beats Saints football and nothing beats a Bud. And by Lennox. It must be a Lennox.
This is an exclusive presentation of WGNO Sports. Ed Daniels, Alexander Laurent, Saints Sideline.
Hello and thank you for joining us on Saints Sideline. I'm Alexander Laurent.
And I'm Ed Daniels.
And Sunday's win in Foxborough makes it 5 in a row for the Saints, but regardless of the win yesterday, all the hype is about next week's game with the 49ers.
That's where it should be, Alex. It's the biggest game of the year, but before we start looking ahead to those Niners, let's look back at Sunday's win in Massachusetts. The Saints won Sunday with a very familiar script. Dominating defense and ball control offense. They held the ball for more than 35 minutes and limited Tommy Hotson and the Patriots to just 6 first downs on their way to the team's 5th straight win, 31-14.
I'm ready for anybody right now.
A 5th straight win tucked away, the Saints' thoughts quickly switched from East Coast to West.
Ready for the Niners. Gonna be a battle.
San Francisco. Many steps up in class from winless New England, where the Saints got a key first quarter strip from Brett Maxey.
This guy has a history of giving up the ball. He was carrying it a little loosely, and I made the hit, kind of drive it away.
And turned it into a 7-point lead. And then 14-0 on a 39-yard pass from Bobby Hebert to wide open Quinn Early.
Quinn Early with a second touchdown for New Orleans.
Safety was on me one-on-one, and they had no deep help in the middle. And Bobby looked the backside safety off, and he just made a great throw. And I caught it and put it in the end zone.
The Saints got the Pats back in the game briefly on a Marcus Dowdell fumble turned into 7 on the next play by Leonard Russell. But by half, the Saints led 21-7, and the defense did the rest, holding the Patriots to 122 yards, sacking former LSU Tiger Tom Hotson 5 times. LSU and New England are a combined 1-17. Next week, the Saints step up to an NFC heavyweight. Let the hype begin.
I guess as big as the media or people can blow this game up, it's probably that big to us, because it is definitely a big game, and it's a game that, we're looking forward to.
I guess I have to listen to you on TV and let you tell me how important it's going to be.
Boston sports writers have seen a lot of performances like Sunday's in the past few years. This time, the Patriots had a new man in charge, but he was unable to change his team's fate Sunday. Here's what they're saying. Ron Borges of the Boston Globe writes, Dante Scarnecchia, normally the Patriots special teams coach, took over on the sideline for Dick McPherson after the New England head coach checked himself into a Massachusetts General Hospital Wednesday. In one afternoon, he learned how McPherson's case of diverticulitis became acute. 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions, 5 penalties, 5 sacks, 10 bottles of Maalox. That was the story for Scarnecchia as the hapless Patriots fell to their 9th consecutive loss before 45,513 fanatics at fillingly overcast Foxborough Stadium. A Boston Globe headline said it all. Patriots sinfully inept versus the Saints. Meanwhile, Pro Football Weekly has jumped on the Saints bandwagon. In their midseason report, the newspaper ranks NFL teams from 1 to 28. The Cowboys are number 1, the 49ers are 2nd, Bills 3rd, and the Saints are ranked as the 4th best team in football, writing, despite criticism for his performance, quarterback Bobby Hebert has been very consistent and has shown the ability to make big plays even though the Saints don't have game-breaking wide receivers.
While the Saints were listed 4th in that poll, the Patriots were ranked 28th. Absolutely the worst team in football. So far this year, they've been bad on offense, bad on defense. They're definitely a franchise in trouble.
The hospitalized head coach was there in spirit. His team already on the critical list.
At this point, that's all you do think about. Let's win one game.
Archie ought to know how despair feels, so it was no surprise he went out to greet former LSU Tiger Tom Hodson to offer encouragement before the 3-hour train wreck to follow.
It snowballs.
Good thing it didn't snow, because these guys would have thrown him. Instead, they heaped verbal abuse on themselves, their team, and the visitors.
This is good. 2 minutes and 28 seconds.
A couple of them I talked to and try to get them straight, because, you know, there's people out there trying to enjoy the game, and, you know, if I wanted to be an a-hole about it, I could have went up there and took care of it, you know, the way I normally like to take care of it.
At 0-9, fans here are almost numb over the Patriots. The front office is in turmoil. The owner doesn't want to own. The stadium is isolated 45 minutes southwest from Boston. We could go on and on. But that's ridiculous. But so are the Patriots.
Up next, we'll preview Sunday's Showdown by the Bay. Stick around for more of Saints Sideline. After a long wait, the game of the year is now here for the Saints. If New Orleans is going to defend their NFC West championship, they have to win on Sunday. As Doug Mouton shows us, it didn't take long for the Saints to start focusing on the 49ers.
By the time these guys had stopped howling, the Saints' attentions had turned west to San Francisco. A Super Bowl caliber defense has carried the team to a 7-2 record and into the kind of game big-time players love.
That's the first thing that came to my mind when I came off the field was 49ers, and it's definitely a big game, and if we're going to win our division, it's a game that we need to win, and we're looking forward to it.
And so is the city of New Orleans. In game number 1 earlier this season, the Saints turned the ball over 5 times and still had a chance to win it. A victory Sunday would more than make up for that loss and go a long way toward proving that the Saints belong with the big boys.
I think that we're a good team, and I think everybody in New Orleans knows we're a good team. It's just that nationally, people just don't believe that we're going to, you know, they just think that, hey, the Saints beat who they're supposed to beat, but they can't beat the powerhouses, you know, the Niners. They're probably saying Dallas now, the Redskins, those type of teams. So we'll find out. This will be a good test for us.
Toi Cook in the secondary will certainly be tested Sunday. Last year in Candlestick Park, Jerry Rice ran wild. He caught 9 passes for 154 yards and this back-breaking touchdown. Add to the 49er arsenal Ricky Waters, who besides the Cowboys' Emmitt Smith has been the NFL's best running back so far this year. And the Saints will have their hands full. But in order to entertain any hopes of repeating in the West, they must win Sunday.
We got into the locker room, and the coach had some words about, the Niners are next in line, and you know, this is a team I think, you know, we need to go up there and play extremely well in all 3 phases of our football team in order to beat this team.
From Foxborough, Doug Mouton, Saints Sideline.
The Monday morning quarterbacks were out in full force after the Patriots game, and the breakfast talk centered around the big game by the Bay.
I think that the Saints are going to win their next game because we played a good game this weekend. We have a better offense play line. We have a good defense, and our quarterback is the best.
All right, thank you.
They should be chilling, handling their business. Bob Abel doing he normally do, throwing touchdowns. I hope not intercepts.
It's really a toss-up of who's going to win this ball game. But I like the 49ers because they're playing at home, and because the Saints played a game this week who didn't play anybody that was really important.
Saints. I think that the Saints are playing good football, and you could see what happened to the 49ers last weekend. I think they're on the downside. They lost to Phoenix, the last place team, and I don't know what happened to them, but I think they're ready to be beaten.
I think it's going to be tough, but I think I have to go with the 49ers.
Why?
I think they have a better overall team.
It doesn't make any difference at all because they're both going to get beaten if they ever get to the championship round of the NFC by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, Ricky Jackson passed foot in the linebackers, cornerbacks, linemen, launching and crunching. I've been let down a lot of times with the New Orleans Saints. I'm waiting to get in the Super Bowl. Then I'll be a true Saints fan in the Super Bowl. I'll be there with my shakers and my drawers and everything.
Well, Ed, first things first, huh? Since Jim Mora came to New Orleans, the Saints are 4-9 against the 49ers, 2-4 in Candlestick Park.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're right. 1987 and 1990 is when the Saints won at the Stick. Both of those big games as the Saints moved on into the playoffs. The Saints moved the ball well in the first meeting, but as Doug mentioned, the key will be avoiding those big mistakes. The Saints cannot turn the ball over 5 times and hope to win on Sunday.
Up next, it's party time for the Swillings. Stay with us for more of Saints Sideline. With a 5-game winning streak, it's been party time for the Whodats for more than a month now. It was party time for pro linebacker Pat Swilling recently as family and friends wished him a happy 28th birthday.
Well, with age, I guess, comes you become a little more wiser, and also I'm about to become I guess, year of being a father. And also I have a beautiful wife, which I've enjoyed for the last year and a half, and my life is really where I would like to be at this point.
While we were dating in our first year of marriage, he was always moving, always on the go, always in a rush. I mean, there was never a dull moment. But now we have more time to relax, to stay home and enjoy each other now.
What's he like? I mean, I know
very energetic.
He's got so much.
Oh, very energetic. My wife tells me just like me. I mean, he goes all the time. He moves all the time. As you can tell now, I mean, he's always moving. He never wants to sit, and I think that's the way babies are. But I think he has a little worse than most because he just loves to move.
He was a very shy boy. He sucked his thumb all through nighttime, daytime. But when he first started wanting to play ball in the 9th grade, I was scared, and I told my husband, I said, well, you talk to him and don't let him play. But he said it was all right for him to play, so he started playing in the 9th grade. But he didn't play until he was in the 9th grade.
We're proud of him, though. He really struggled, and I think he's done a good job.
And now it's time for the party. Look at these people. They're kicking it live. It's a party, and they're having fun. Hey, there's Maxie. What's he doing here? It's not his party.
Believe it or not, Alex, I was invited. What's your excuse?
What's that supposed to be, funny? There's Mills and Warren. They're talking defense. There's Toi Cook. He wants to be a rap star.
He's got 2 cakes. Maybe he'll give you one. I don't think so.
It's his birthday, and he's out of control. He's moving chairs. He's checking the food. He's shaking hands and greeting guests. He's talking to Kennard. He's cracking jokes. He's serving drinks. He's so nice, he's getting ice. He's rapping with me. He's talking to kids. Look at this food. What a spread. Hey, there's Patrick. He can't find his dad. He's on the dance floor. He's grooving with Robin. I think you hear me knocking, and Pat's coming in.
Pat Swilling picked up his 8th sack of the year Sunday against New England, but the guy who did the most celebrating was wide receiver Quinn Early. After a tough outing against Tampa Bay, Early burned the Pats for 2 very big plays.
After dropping a short TD against Tampa Bay, Quinn Early held on against New England for the first 2-touchdown game of his NFL career.
You know, I don't think there's a player ever to play the game that hasn't dropped a pass, a touchdown pass or anything, you know, one time in his career. And, you know, I just wanted to come out today and redeem myself a little bit and just play hard.
Early is the Saints' deep pass threat. He read in the offseason there was no such person around.
I have a little article up in my locker, my practice locker, that says the Saints don't have anybody that can get deep. And every day I look at it, me off every day. So, I've just been trying to change people's views on that and make things work and just catch the long ball when thrown to me. And so far, things have gone pretty well for me.
Up next, more from Sunday's win over the Patriots. Of course, the Niners are next. In 46 games against San Francisco, the Saints have only won 13 times. The first was on a wild Sunday afternoon back in 1969, as we see in this week's great game in Saints history.
November 23rd at Tom Fiscal 38.
After Sunday's win over the Patriots, Jim Mora gave his team an extra day to rest, relax, and get ready for the 49ers.
The Saints got a 5th straight win and an extra day off. Coach Jim Mora said, "Don't come in Monday. See you Wednesday."
2 days off, kind of a reward?
Yeah, I think he wants us to come back, and I think he really wants us to go out and play the best ball that we're capable of playing against the 49ers.
On his Monday off, Toi Cook and his wife may see a movie. Then again, Toi may play a little golf with a favorite opponent.
I'm a little low on money. Dalton Hilliard's around here somewhere, so I might be able to sneak in something, get some gas money for the week. All I need is 18.
You can fleece Dalton?
Well, Dalton's my walking ATM. I knew that if Mr. Finks didn't give me the money, I can always, come back and play golf with Dalton every weekend. That'd be all right.
There's still a lot more to come on Saints Sideline. Next, we'll check out the standings and see how the Saints shape up heading into the big one out west.
For Saints Sideline is furnished by Barry Manufacturing.
Thanks to Sunday's win over the Patriots and the fact that the 49ers don't play until tonight in Atlanta, the Saints have at least a one-day ride alone at the top of the NFC West. Only once in team history, and that was last year, have the Saints been off to a better start than this year's 7-2. San Francisco is a half game back. Of course, if they win tonight, they move back into first place. The Falcons are 3-5 and desperately need a win tonight to stay in the playoff hunt. And the Los Angeles Rams fell to 3-6 Sunday with a 20-14 loss to the Cardinals.
The West is the NFC's only close divisional race 9 weeks into the season. For now, it's the Saints on top in the West. The Minnesota Vikings beat Tampa Bay Sunday to move to 7-2. They're 6-1 within the division. And barring some disaster, they'll easily win the Central. And the Dallas Cowboys are 2 full games up in the East with the league best record of 8-1. For today, at least, the Niners are the best of the wild card bunch. The world champion Washington Redskins are next at 6-3 after winning at Seattle. And the Eagles, who only won 2 of their last 5, are the final wild card team at 6-3. Alex, the Saints' last 5 opponents are a combined 10-30, but they've been able to avoid the upset and win all 5 games. The next 3 teams, though, at San Francisco, at home against the Redskins and the Dolphins, that'll tell you that stretch there, whether the Saints are really serious Super Bowl contenders or not. They're going to have to turn it up a notch or 2 the next few weeks and at least win 2 of those 3 games.
Well, and after the San Francisco game, the heat will be on because they have to play 3 games in 11 days, so it's really going to be crunch time for the Hootats.
And it's also crunch time in high school football across the state. The playoffs start this week. Of course, we'll have all the action and excitement on Friday Night Football, the area's most complete coverage of the Prep Gridiron. That's Friday nights at 10:30. Right here on WGNO 26. Looking forward to it. I'm Ed Daniels.
I'm Alexander Laurent. We'll see you next week on Saints Sideline.
Start number 1! Yeah!